The following is a semi-professional... fuck it, read it yourself. And welcome back to Nihilhalla. So why do you hate the aliens explanations so much?
I feel it's really lazy to just assume that ancient civilizations weren't smart enough or capable enough to do something. So, there's line pictures on the ground, obviously people were too dumb back then to, first draw it out on a map and then basically count their pacings or something. That is not implausible to do. Like, we could go do that in a football field right now. Like, just whatever math we would do to be like, all right, divisible by this line on this paper makes this many steps and does this many feet. I don't think that'd be implausible for, an ancient civilization to...
Wow, that's actually a really solid point.
You know what I mean? Like, that's not...
No, you're absolutely right.
It's kind of the same thing that I hate with the different paint from the Mayan temples and, somebody would have had to travel 2,000 miles to get... Well, yeah, maybe that was that dude's life goal. Or, when you have an emperor or a god king tell you to do something, you're going to fucking do it. Same thing with the pyramids. And despite what theory you may think with the slaves and the Jews, and that they actually had workers and all that, and they're finding new information about that all the time. You throw enough people at something, you'll get it done. And
I guess that's fair. Yeah, how dare people marginalize what ancient civilizations
and what humans have done over time. I really think we're mostly amazing creatures. A lot of times, it's the same way I feel with the crystal skulls. They're like, if this was hand polished, it would have took years. All right, so Jube the skull polisher, that was his job in the village.
Yeah.
He polished the skull for years on end.
Why is it so impossible for people to believe that human beings could have done something? Is it just the recent war that has, the recent
I don't know what it is.
Towards war?
Part of it is, and this is a thing that I've had with... I've actually spoke with some anthropologists. Some of my friends are anthropologists, and it was kind of funny. We were having a discussion around a campfire, as I guess intellectuals are wont to do while we were camping. And she was saying, why did people, build these caverns or why did they build these cities? It shows that our knuckles weren't meant to grind grain and such. And after humans stopped being hunter-gatherers and went to the starting to build settlements sort of deal, it was a lot worse on us health-wise. And she said, they're not figuring out why we did this, even though it was very much clear that it was detrimental to humans. And I said, I don't know, maybe they wanted to sit on their asses. And she was just kind of like, I'd never fucking thought about that. I mean, if you heard tales of your great-grandparents or whoever your forefathers talk about, yes, and then we walked the Great Plains and it sucked major dick because wolves ate us and it was hot as fuck. Now we have this cool city where there's shade and we don't get eaten by wolves and shit.
I mean, that's a very, very good point.
We only have so much recorded data. I mean, we just found the closest missing link that's earlier than, or closer to our timeline than Lucy. When I refer to Lucy, it's the last kind of missing link. I'm generalizing the term there. That shows our more ape ancestry.
Oh, okay. So you're talking about the African fossil that they found that was...
Correct.
And that's not me being racist, by the way. The shit was found in Africa. But you're referring to the one that I guess anthropologists or archaeologists discovered, and they determined that it was some prehistoric female.
Yes,
that we were all must have been descended from at some point.
And they found different genomes, and my degree isn't in anthropology, so I'm not talking with any sort of authority on this, but I read the Nat Geo article about the most recent find, and it was found in a cave, which cave study stuff is hilariously enough because there was no such thing as cave people, really. People didn't live in caves, so begs the question, why did humans go hang out in caves? I mean, they're dark and scary, shit lives in them. Cave bears are fucking terrifying. That used to be around. Anybody who's never seen a cave bear, Google that shit. they ate humans and actually served as a lot of neat dig sites because they would dump carcasses and pits basically in their caves and were rediscovered. But this most recent one was found in kind of either a burial pit or a garbage pit that I was reading in the article, and it was a treasure trove of stuff of that time.
Interesting.
Yeah, neat little shit. But that's my whole thing on the alien theory. I'm not saying, I'm not trying to disprove it. I'm just trying to bring the theory of humans rock sometimes and can get shit done. We don't need to make up a fairy tale.
Well, I think it was Caesar, actually, that had a standing army, construct a bridge, completely construct a bridge, disassemble it just for the shits and giggles. They walked across it and then burned it just because they could. Which, you want to talk about something that makes your army look ridiculously powerful. You're talking about the kind of shit Caesar did for the hell of it.
Yeah. Having trouble with that wheel, huh?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this. The symmetry that I typically build with is sort of goofed up. So right now what I'm doing is I'm doing like the old by the hand trick that I used to do in Spore when Spore's symmetry would fuck up, which is find a marking of some description on the texture and then try to line up with that marking. This thing's probably going to rapidly disassemble itself on the on the runway.
I never heard that Caesar story. I've heard the Alexander the Great one where a town did burn all its bridges and he simply just fucking tied boats together and said, fuck you.
The one about Caesar may or may not be apocryphal. I'm not sure. I forgot to do staging. Hang on. But the way I heard it was Caesar basically built a bridge, marched his army across it, and then marched them back and burned it as a demonstration of power.
Hey, fuck you.
Yeah, and this other faction that he was trying to demonstrate his power to said, fuck it, we're out. You can have the city. Just don't kill us. Of course, not in those exact words, but it was pretty close.
Yeah, no.
And what I'm doing right now is just setting it so that I can quickly toggle these on and off in case the staging gets fucked up or these things get disconnected or something like that. And I've got these two goo pods back here and rapier engines, which is hopefully enough to get us to space. So this is the first multi-stage space plane I've ever built. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. We'll find out very shortly. And if it doesn't work, we will refine it back down to what I had originally and maybe put some LVT-30s on instead of the rapier engines.
And of course the internet will make fun of you.
Well, yeah.
Is it supposed to wobble?
No, but we're off the ground.
God, I love watching you crash shit.
Let's try this one more time just to make sure this wasn't purely user error.
Why was it wobbly? Look how much it wobbles!
Because it's coupled right here, and the couplers, I think, are broken.
Can't you just put like a little bar, a little cheater bar to hold that shit?
Oh, wow. That's not supposed to happen like that. Alrighty. Back to the hangar.
Oh, it's my favorite!
Is it next time?
No, we have a little more time to watch you fail.
Oh, right, because of the fuck up with Steam and all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Can't you just put like a little welded bar that just holds it from wiggling?
I can, but doing it like that, it kind of defeats the purpose, so...
Oh, because it's supposed to detach.
Yeah, so I'm going to trade these rapier engines out for LVT-30s and just not turn them on.
Sorry if the audio is loud, folks. I'll be laughing. I love watching Neil crash airplanes.
No, it's okay. It's totally fine.
Oh, it just shit whipped its ass right to the ground and exploded.
Anyway. All right, so let's try this again. Hopefully, this will work out a lot better.
Oh, no, launch it.
No.
It deserves to be launched.
No.
The people want crashes.
I refuse. The people also want to see us succeed sometime, dick.
Oh, shit on the next episode of Nihilhalla.